Hello and welcome to New Year's Eve 2019. A new year, a new decade by some measures, is upon us. And I'm of two minds about it, really. 2020 is literally on the horizon, just around the corner, and with that comes possibilities, both good and bad. Who knows what the future may bring? But on the other hand, I'm very much still enjoying relaxing and reflecting as I have been in this Christmas spirit. I've enjoyed having friends and family come to visit. And today, this afternoon, while the house is quiet and very much mine own, because my lovely wife's gone back to work for a day at least, I find myself in the sort of the Epicurean spirit, that notion of eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Who knows what the morning will bring? Almost certainly a change in the calendar, 2020. But today, I want to share with you a little visit to Luigi's Mansion 3. A couple of years ago, we spent New Year's Eve at Luigi's Mansion on GameCube, and this game is well overdue in terms of me talking about it, because I and my lovely wife, we've both been enjoying this game immensely. And it's partly because it has the same sort of spirit, pun intended, as Luigi's Mansion. It has the same sense of fun and whimsy, but it also builds on a lot of the intuitive elements that they introduced, for example, in Zelda Breath of the Wild. Nintendo often reward you as a gamer, as a game player, for your curiosity and for playing with the boundaries of the game space that they create. But in this game, you are rewarded for thinking in a similar way to that which you are when you play Breath of the Wild. What happens if I do this to that in this reality? In Breath of the Wild, for example, fire spreads as it might. If you walk in the fire, you will get burned. Magnetic things in the world, or metal things, respond to magnesis as you would expect them to. Electricity is a problem, rainfall, weather, so on and so forth. And this game, while it doesn't have a weather system in the hotel, the last resort, incidentally, where Luigi and his friends are going for the night, or so, well, for the week, who knows? It does have various themed floors and elements that allow similar playfulness to occur. And I recently watched a video that outlined how Zelda Breath of the Wild is a triumph because it allows you to be right in the wrong ways. If I remember, I'll put a link in the video description below to that video. And by that, I mean to say, or indeed the author of the video meant to say, it's possible to solve things in various ways because the physics will bounce around, or things will occur that are slightly unintended, that actually make the game feel fun, ultimately fun. And it's really hard to go from games like Zelda, or games like this in fact, to other more stilted, strict games. I mean, the one I keep on coming back to in my head most recently is it The Shadow of the Tomb Raider? That game is so A to B, so corridored in its delivery, that you feel stifled, you feel as though you're being hemmed in by the game. And ironically, although this game is set indoors, in a series of corridors in fact, it feels freer certainly than most games. The opening is excellent. With the original game, of course, Luigi was gifted a mansion quite randomly. In this instance, and incidentally, yes, this is Guinness. The sun is over the yard arm. In this game, he's just going on holiday. But actually, the motif of having a hotel with various floors has opened up possibilities in terms of world design, and we'll maybe have a look at that, at our much more mature game save file in a moment or two. I love the details on Luigi and Mario there, the denim fabric. The stitching, in fact, was just zoom back in again, having a look. Just gorgeous, isn't it? The whole thing is. Of course, we have Polterpup, a character who turned up in Luigi's Mansion 2. Was it Dark Moon? That was a game that I did enjoy. I played about a couple of hours of it maybe, but as I've talked about in a previous video, the 3DS I just found hard to do extended gameplay sessions with. And I remember the first time we were exploring this area, my wife in particular, because I kind of, sadly I'd had this spoiled for me, this area, but my wife was going, what's wrong with these guys? Why are they wearing masks? And then eventually what you notice is that, well, if you interact with them, they don't, for example, necessarily, well, first of all, have normal voices, but also they aren't necessarily connected to their shoes, you see. That guy is, well, there's something a bit off with him. The whole hotel feels sparkly, and actually I love this sort of the Art Deco kind of motif. I mean, look at this fellow over here, though. There's just something a bit wrong. Hi, welcome guests to the Last Resort. Are you ready to check in? Yes, I guess. Welcome to the Last Resort. My name is Helen Gravely, and I am the owner of this hotel. I am absolutely delighted that you have decided to accept my invitation. She's not quite walking though, is she? She's a bit like Morticia Adams. You must all be very tired. No, you must all be very tired. Come, allow me to show you to your rooms. Oh, no need to worry about your luggage. Our exceptional staff will take care of it for you. Ta-da! Well, VIPs after all. Shall we get going? Obviously, she's covering herself with thick layers of makeup because, well, who knows what she is underneath the makeup, underneath the pink. I'm not sure I'd trust someone who was literally pink. Or sort of purpley pink. After all, Mario and Luigi and Daisy, even the Toads, look a bit more alive. Mario, Luigi, and Peach's rooms are over here. We prepared rooms for the Toads as well. I hope you enjoy your stay. I dare say you'll remember it for the rest of your lives. This isn't creepy at all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okie dokie. Charles Martinet is the voice actor for both Mario and Luigi, and I think he does an excellent job. He walks that line, doesn't he, between speaking and not speaking. And Nintendo, actually, in all their games, they're really good at creating gobbledygook, you know. In this game, obviously, we just had Helena Gravely with la 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 la. But in, for example, Splatoon, you know, they have a sort of a nonsense language. And actually, in the other Luigi's Mansion games, Egad, the scientist, has a, you know, wop wop whoop 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 kind of thing. It's very impressive. In so much as it's impressive in so much as they limit their need for too much localization, don't they? You know, they can just change the text on screen and have people sounding familiar. You know, so if they're surprised, blah 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 blah. You know, if they're being welcoming, blah 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 blah. It's impressive. Polterpup. Of course, things like working toilets and this kind of thing. This is a staple of the Luigi's Mansion series, and I have always appreciated. Well, for example, actually in the GameCube version, it holds up so well because the fact that you're encouraged to touch everything, to play with everything, to suck everything. It is really hard actually to play this game and not end up talking in innuendos. Suck that off. Suck that piece of wood off there. That's literally what my wife was saying yesterday. I was like, what, you want me to suck the wood off? Filthy. Good old Luigi, time to rest. And I can relate to that. Definitely. Because actually, yes, you know, we've had a few days off, but if I'm honest, I've been running around like a headless chicken entertaining people and, for example, making sure that we're well stocked in terms of food and washing up and etc. So, in reality, I think the next couple of days are going to be an actual day off for me. Because even in the run-up to Christmas, when my wife was off work, I was still doing work, so everything's gone a bit dodgy. The controls are quite nice actually. So the right stick will sort of move the torch around, as it did on the GameCube, for example, with the C stick. But you can also use the oh well, not yet, but you can use the gyroscope in the control itself to move the vacuum cleaner up and down, for example. So that's quite good for aiming, quick aiming. But everything has changed. You see the rats scuttling away. Anyway, need to get on with things. The dark magic changing the hotel. Or was it always like this? And the magic was initially just sustaining it as looking better than it is. Princess Peach's stuff. Got the gargoyle there, that's quite cool. The lighting in this game is beautiful. You know, a few people I saw in reviews when it first came out were reflecting on how this was probably the Switch's best game in terms of its graphical fidelity and quality, and the art style, the way that style actually is true to form. And even now, when it's all gone dark, the wonkiness of things. I always like a good wonky door, you know, a good Tim Burton style wonky door. It's unabashed, shall we say. Oh, interesting. Well, let's see if we can... Is Mario in his room? Let's check. 501. Oh, this is Peach's room. Her brolly has been broken on the floor there. Her makeup stuff is knocked over. Her chair is on the floor. The balloons have turned into spooky things. That's Peach's room. We'll try Mario's room. Mario's room is actually quite funny, actually. When we go in, it's clear that he's immediately had a... Well, actually, did he get onto room service and order all this pizza? Or I wonder if it was in his suitcase, because his suitcase is there on the floor open. Maybe he just had pizza and milkshake in his suitcase. That's what Mario travels with. Because we're only marginally dealing with national stereotypes. Hello, I'm Italian. I like pizza. It's me, Mario. Or I'll say, it's me, Mario. There we go. Oh no! Something's coming down the elevator. I like the way that these games really carefully manage the scares and the spooks as well. I mean, actually, the other day, Monsters University was on TV, and we were both thinking about how Pixar in that series have to have something which is scary, because the monsters are learning to be scary, but also is fun. And I think this is a very similar sort of thing. Well, 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 it is my most esteemed VIP. I was just on my way to see you. Is your room living up to your expectations? Does it scream good taste? She's a ghost. Oh, I can barely contain myself. You have no idea how much I wanted to accept you to accept my invitation. Why is that? Oh, I'm sure you're wondering. You see, there is someone I truly adore. He's the inspiration for some of my greatest ideas, like inviting you here. I'm such a huge fan of his. That's why it's so wonderful that I get to introduce him to you. That's right, Luigi. I hope you're ready. King Boo, of course. Yep. It's a me, King Boo. That old coot had me locked up tight in his lab. Yeah, egad. But guess what? I got out. The hotel owner here was just dying to meet me, so she busted me out. Pretty lucky, huh? Anyway, I didn't think you'd actually show up here. I was ready, though, just in case. In fact, my vengeance is nearly complete. What do I mean by my vengeance? Glad you asked. I'm trapping you and everyone in your little vacation party into picture frames. Oh no! Oh no! Exactly. Mwah, take that. And there's one more frame, of course. I saved it especially for you. Stay right there. Put on your best terrified face, Luigi. This is game over. Look over here. This game is over. Oh no! Oh! Run away! Run away! Ah! Okay, down the hatch. The storytelling in these games has really improved over the years, hasn't it? I mean, I remember, the hotel shows its true face. I remember, in older Nintendo games, it was a bit more stilted, a bit more awkward. Whereas actually, I mean, it's arguable that Nintendo have really become akin to something like a Pixar in terms of their ability to tell stories, especially stories without any real language going on. It's impressive stuff. It kind of makes me think that a Mario movie might not be so bad after all. I mean, there's been talk about a Mario movie for a while now. Good few years, I think, at least. Thank you, Bolter Pup. And here we are in the basement. Now, at this point, I could go through the whole thing of, well, there's quite a lot to do before we get all of our stuff back, as it were. But what I'm going to do actually instead is take us to our other save file, to my other save file, because well, I've got the poltergust there, and also another little touch which I really appreciated, because I remember because I recently replayed Luigi's Mansion in preparation for Luigi's Mansion 3, and I remember wondering what are they going to do instead of the it was the Game Boo, was it Game Boo Color? Basically, the use of a Game Boy Color as an in-game sort of artifact. And let's see, and what they did, instead of using the Game Boy, they used the Virtual Boy, or rather the Virtual Boo, as the way of doing the menu, but also how you communicate with the EGAD. That was very clever. That was very, very clever. And actually, so if I press pause here, so this is the Virtual Boo here. I've got the EGAD hotline. And notice how the graphics are all red and black, like the Virtual Boy. He says something along the lines of, "I know this is going to be a super hit," or something like when he was making it. Of course, a bit of a knowing joke, because the Virtual Boy was not a super hit. And I say a friend is important, but don't forget about collecting ghosts. Need anything else, Luigi? No, all good. So we have the Virtual Boo. Very clever. Notice that the Virtual Boo also gives you a nice red, I suppose red and black, but red map on the HUD as well, the heads-up display. And I suppose I better see what's outside this door. Now I have asked, don't worry, I've checked with my lovely wife, and she said I can, if I'm able to, I can beat this boss and move on. So fingers crossed, we can actually do this boss. Sort of Cleopatra ghost. So this floor is themed like ancient Egypt. It's kind of like a Caesar's palace of Mario's world. Okay. So of course we have the poltergust. It can suck, it can blow. It can jump you up in the air if you do suck and blow at the same time. Oh, okay, and let's see, can we suck up there? Oh no, he got me. So the snakes kind of hit the floor and they stun themselves. So they sort of tempt the snakes into. Let's go with that heart. There we go. Ah! I love the various ways that Luigi now displays his scaredness as well. He used to just chatter his teeth, but now he can literally be scared rigid. So he also sees, goes, "Oh!" just stand still with his hands by his side. It's very funny. Oh, okay, so let's see if we can get them to. No, oh, they didn't. Oh, this is actually quite a difficult boss. I did try it last night, and it was just before bedtime, and then we decided to go to bed. Okay, so you suck a little bit, that's it, and they go whoosh, and then maybe try and suck them up. Oh, they got me! Oh, I completely suck at this. Get it? I completely suck at it. Okay, and zap, right, and suck up, and zap, and suck up, yeah, and can we get that one to zap, and zap, and suck up, and yeah, jump in the air. I'm down to 14 on the hearts. Oh no. So the game is, for the most part, quite easy. This is actually the first boss that I've really struggled with, actually. But even then, it's still quite good fun. Oh, okay. And can we? No, we can't. Oh, okay. Can we zap it? Ah. Poor Luigi. Oh no. It's like dying in Arkham Knight, isn't it? Or the Arkham games. Where the baddie comes up and goes, "Oh, Batman, you're so useless. Good night." It's also got a slight Symphony of the Night kind of vibe, hasn't it, as well? When you die, that's quite cool. Okay, restart from your last autosave? I think so. So, not quite sure how to best her just yet. But this is a good opportunity just to show you a couple of things about this game's quirks. So one of them is Luigi. You actually can have a co-op player. So we've both been running around, one as Luigi, one as Luigi. And you'll notice that Luigi has this beautiful sort of translucence to him. In fact, if I become Luigi, you can see how the torch, you can sort of see it through him. It's brilliant. You do that as one player by clicking the right stick. If you double click it, Luigi gets sucked back up into the poltergust there. Blow and suck at the same time is a jump in the air. Suck is the left trigger, or LZ. Let's say blow, sorry, is the left trigger, LZ. Suck is the right trigger, RZ. We have the ability to shoot plungers at things. You can either press, is it Y button? Yep. Or you can press the L button, the left bumper button. And we have the truth revealing, the sort of light of the moon kind of thing from Dark Moon, which is a very welcome return, because they've done some very clever things in this game in terms of hiding reality, and you'll be able to reveal it using that torch. Of course, there's also the ability to flash ghost as well if you press the A button. On different floors of the hotel so far, there's been things like a movie studio, there's been this ancient Egyptian themed one, there's been a paleontology kind of gallery, there's been a garden level, actually multiple levels in fact. And so with each one comes essentially what almost feels like its own little game, its own little gaming world. And I suppose in that sense they're also actually harkening back to classic Mario design, you know, especially I suppose would be Mario World. I was getting confused. But where they would have for example, a pyramid level. For example, that's also carried on in Mario Kart as well, isn't it? Where they have a sandy level and all that sort of thing. And so they're able to do that in the context of a hotel because it feels like that kind of Las Vegas novelty kind of experience. You know, if you want to stay on the level with Cleopatra, then you can. And they actually even explain all this sand being in here. There's little ports at the edge of the room that are blowing sand into the room, which is quite cool. Right, I need to suck up that heart. Ah, no! Okay, I need to suck up that heart. There we go. Just quit my yabbing. My yabbering. Still actually playing the game. Come on, yes. Snaky things, where are you? What? Jump. But I like the way the shockwave affects the sound. That's quite cool, isn't it? Jump. So can I suck up that heart over there? There we go. I wonder if I suck sand away from it, will that affect it? Is that what brings out the snakes? That must be it, I guess. And then we suck up the snakes' heads. There we go. We keep on sucking away at the sand. It's something I didn't really quite grasp, I think, last night. I guess it makes sense. This thing is made of sand. You've got a vacuum cleaner. Suck it up, buttercup, as they say. Here we go. Come on, come on. Suck up the sand. Oh, dodge the snaky things. There we go, and zap. Yes! This mechanic is excellent as well. When you suck up the ghosts to a certain extent, you're able to slam them by mashing the A button, which is something that feels very satisfying. It's kind of like Ghostbusters in that sense, actually. And this is, I think, one of the clever things about... there was a shopping mall level as well, which is quite good. And I remember reflecting upon this in the shopping mall, on the fact that Nintendo have kind of made for themselves, with Luigi, a character who can occupy a similar space, as it were, to the horror genre, to games like, for example, the Ghostbusters, the video game, which I quite enjoyed playing. Actually, I really do like that game, actually. And they're able to do that in a way which is uniquely Nintendo-y, but absolutely evocative and fun and... Oh! And there are so many little moments, little gameplay quirks that reward you, as I was saying at the beginning, with your, in terms of your curiosity. Hopefully we'll get a bit of time to... Ah, oh, no, they can reach further than they did. Oh, no, get away, and jump. But the number of times that actually I've been playing and my wife goes, try blowing that, or try sucking that, I wonder what happens. And I'd be like, oh, nothing's going to happen, don't be silly. But then it does. I've been delighted by that. I've been absolutely delighted by the way that her instincts for, and also actually her expectations that the game will have certain features are rewarded. I talked a little bit about this with Zelda Link's Awakening, in terms of, for example, the apples on the trees, you know, and she was saying, well, try knocking the apples off the trees. And I was like, well, that won't happen. That didn't happen in the original game. But it did happen. Because Nintendo seemed to be, well, again, rewarding that sort of stuff increasingly. I like it. I really do. It makes the game fresh. It makes the game relatable for people who... Oh, can we... Yes, okay, cool. Don't want to get punched? I got punched. Oh, not again, you coward. There we go. Makes the game relatable and fun for newcomers who aren't necessarily as well versed with, you know, gameplay mechanics or the visual vocabulary of games. I often come back to this notion of the, you know, the red explodable barrel in first-person shooters, this kind of thing. Person shooters. In reality, there's no reason that you should expect those things to be the case. It's just that they are the case after decades of computer game design. And so the fact that Nintendo now bring into their games much more of a sense of real-world consequences to gameplay. Come on. Yes, that's what we want. That's what we want. We don't want the snakes to get me though. I don't want to die. Jump. There we go. Good Luigi. Can we expose any more hearts over here under? Not necessarily. Oh, not a hand. Ah, I'm down to 9. Can we get away? Get away. Ah, she got me. I think we're doing better though. We're definitely doing better. Okay. Let's skip this. Good night. And here we go. Okay. One more try. We can do this, surely, can't we? Frankly, if I don't manage it, I'm sure my wife will be very happy because it means that she actually gets to see it happen. Oh. There's one of the really interesting things as well that they've introduced with Luigi is things like the ability to slip through pipes that in a way that actually recalls Mario, obviously with the warp pipes, but which is world, you know, appropriate. In that sense, it's more realistic that a slimy fella, a gooey fella, can slip through a pipe than it is that a plumber can. So they're recalling classic Mario tropes, again in the most pleasing of ways. Oh, rats! Suck up the heart. Well, I got it just in time, I think. Okay. It's almost like they're sort of thinking, well, how can we make that make sense? That thing of warp pipes. Can we get the heart over there? Oh, get the snake head. Ah! Jump. Okay. I think we sort of suck off her face. And then avoid the darts. Ah! I'm not doing very well. So suck off her face. Then she jumps up in the air. Jump. So the snakes turn up. And jump. I think I'm doing much worse than last time. Oh, come on! Humbug. Humbug. He says, grinning from ear to ear. I'm still very much enjoying it. Okay, right, now, get away from the snakes. Get away from the snakes. Oh, oh! Yes! Okay, now dodge the arrows. There we go. Flash. Suck. Flash and suck. So naughty. Okay. Cool. Now, can I get any hearts back? Are there any hearts in the sand over here? Can't seem to find any. Oh, I don't like it. Oh no! Back off with your fists. Sandy fists. Okay, avoid the... Yep. Oh! Suck your face off. I will suck your face off. And jump. Okay, dodge the snakes. Dodge the snakes. Don't let this... Oh! I was back against the wall. That's annoying. Do you know what? I came to this save file expecting to have more fun than this. Okay, shall we go back to the previous save file? Yes, quit. Let's go a bit quickly, see if we can see what else we can do. There we go. Game 2, 16 minutes in. It's the pressure, you see. I'm not really in the mood for like a serious boss. Oh, okay. To be fair, as well, I think she'd probably quite like to see that boss get defeated anyway. So we're okay. But here we are. We're just back with just our torch. Ah! And everything's a bit scary. But you see the way that he's like, he notices what's scary. He turns his head to look at it. He'll sort of grit his teeth and jump. He is a scaredy cat in that sense. And although one thing that I've never really understood or agreed with is the way that in the marketing for Luigi's Mansion he's described as being a coward, a cowardly hero, as it were. I don't think that's true. I don't think Luigi is cowardly. I think he is. He's scared. I think there's a difference. I think in that sense, what makes him heroic is the fact that he continues despite his fears, you know? So he's a scared hero. You often hear people saying, you know, anyone who says they're not scared in a time of war is either deluded or they're lying to themselves, especially people who are described as heroes. They often say, no, I'm not, I wasn't not scared, I was terrified. And so, in that sense, he is heroic. Because he does all this despite being terrified. Yeah. Go for a poltergust. Oh, now I've got to do the obligatory tutorial. So you flash the dog to... Alright, there we go. To stun him. ZR, suck the dog in. ZL, blow the dog away. Yes, I am comfortable with what I've learned. And he goes upstairs. So of course now I've got to adjust. I haven't got my darts. I can't blow, suck onto things and pull them around, but I can suck the cloth off this car. There we go. Whoop. And I can flash this green light thing. They should open the boot. Each level has 6 gems to collect like this. They're all sort of thematically shaped. So, for example, in the ancient Egyptian level, they're all shaped like a coiled snake, like a cobra, kind of thing. And I will defeat that boss in the near future. Just not today. Maybe it's something for 2020, or for tonight. Maybe I need to try and do it before midnight. Who knows? Incidentally, I hope you guys had a good Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope you got some good presents. I got some interesting things, because this year, I think, last year it was a similar thing where there was nothing I really wanted, or that I needed, and so the presents were utterly based on what people thought I might like. And in this instance, what they thought I might like was, well, one of them actually was something that my wife did ask about. She said, well, what, come on, let's give me something. So one of them was actually a Charles Adams cartoon collection, the Adams Family artist, and this is pretty good. It's got some good dark humour going on in there. For example, this cartoon here, this whole sort of snake charmer business with the guy. I think in Disney, in Aladdin, you have a guy who can charm a rope, for example. Well, this guy ends up hanging himself. It's very dark humour. Oh, I couldn't make it on Friday the 13th. I simply have too much to do. This kind of thing. And of course, there is the cartoon that the opening of the Addams Family movie is based on. Where is that? With the carolers down below the door, and the camera pans up and reveals the family up above with a pot of boiling oil, ready to get rid of these unwanted guests, shall we say. Although how they made it past the gate, though, in that movie, I'm not sure. You think that the gate would be growling at them, telling them to get lost. I also recently I went to see a friend do a production of the Addams Family at a theatre, and I never realised that they were meant to live in Central Park, of all places. They're meant to have a house in Central Park, which is kind of cool. But I never really got that impression from, for example, from the movie or from many of the cartoons that I've seen. Come on, where are you? Ah, there we go. It was just hiding just there. So there you go. So you've got the family with the boiling oil and the carolers down below. So that was something that I kind of knew was coming, because my wife was like, "Oh, come on, give me a bone, as it were. Give a dog a bone." This was from my brother-in-law, AI the Somnium Files. It's a big special edition Switch game. It comes with an art book, soundtrack, acrylic stand of this character here with the cat headphones, and some stickers. I hadn't really heard about this game, although it's completely up my alley. Detective, Japanese, all good fun. But it is weird. It is very, very strange, very Japanese in that sense. But it's also made with a certain amount of love. The game makes a point of telling you, but also actually in the art book they tell you that is a Japanese word for love. So um, in this instance has a double meaning. You have the artificial intelligence, which is an eyeball. Because you've got the character there who is that's the eyeball with like a gelatinous form around it, but the eyeball belongs to this character here, and he is a detective whose one of his eyes speaks to him and allows him to sort of scan the environment. So the eyeball is an eye. It has AI, and eye is the Japanese word for love. There's lots going on. It's strange. We had to give it a bit of a break because it was hard to keep track of everything while, for example, my father-in-law was clearly bored out of his mind. So, we'll be returning to that, but it was interesting. And then my mother and father-in-law, my wife's parents, obviously, they got me this thing. Apparently, they bought this back in the summer when they and oh no, yeah, no, so back in the autumn, late summer, early autumn, when they were last here. They spotted this in town, and it is heavy. It is seriously heavy. Star Wars blueprints. This is heavier than most premium sort of art books, even that I have, and it is fantastic. It's all six Star Wars. Well, yeah, all six of the main Star Wars movies, and design blueprints. So this isn't blueprints the same way that, for example, uh, the the Enterprise D blueprints that I used to have are in terms of in-world blueprints produced by the Martian shipyards. Um, this actually is blueprints by the design crew, which have been in some cases taped up on the edges, where you can see that they're taped up on the edges where they've been ripped and torn over the years. So this is the blueprint for part of the Death Star interior, which is pretty canny. So funky, heavy book. I could never have predicted that they would get this for me, and I don't think I would have ever knowingly asked for it either. So some pleasant surprises, and hopefully you guys had some similar experiences over Christmas as well. Oh, let's flash that. Right, can we go through that door? Let's go through. Hello. The way that the torch activates things like the vending machine there is very cool. And throughout the game, there's lots of little things like that. So there's um, instances where the flash switches will open up something, or where they'll activate something in the world, or where oh, there's a bit in the way. How do we get up there? I guess we can't yet. Right, well, down we go. Let's go through here. Come on. Ah. Okay, up we go. Oh, maybe I need to do the double blast, don't I? That's it. Yes. That's quite gentle as well. I like the way that they have this sort of gentle presence of the pup to remind you of control issues. It's like a hands-off guiding hand for those people who, like me seemingly, are a bit rubbish at the game. Everything is suck-upable. I love it. And this game absolutely rewards you for just blowing, sucking, and interacting with everything that you possibly can. We see what the foyer was truly like when we arrived. Okay, flash. And slam. Okay. 2 at once. Now you actually can slam the ghosts into each other. So if you have a ghost by the tail, as it were, you can use it to damage another ghost. Come on. Where's he gone? Oh, ah! There we go. Small victories. So, I suppose one last thing I'll just quickly show you is that, well, actually, I suppose as he's about to hint, is that you can, for example, flash that there, and that opens up this and activates that. And there's one of the gems and diamonds from this level that you have to try and collect. There you go. Actually shaped like a diamond, or cut diamond. But also there's so many incidental things, like the envelopes, from obviously because they're postal pigeonholes. There's the key to the next level. It makes sense in the game, and I love that. I love that it makes sense that there's post back there, that the concierge would have a key, and that there's a little secret area where they keep cash and gold bars and things. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think we've been playing this for an hour now. I'm terribly sorry if I disappointed you with my awful boss skills earlier, but I wasn't really in the mood for for a hardcore gaming session. I've just been wanting to muck about a bit, and that's, I think, probably a good way to end the year. Oh, now we can get this gem out of there. Playing around in Luigi's Mansion 3. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, as ever, for your attention and patience and general interest in the year. Sometimes I do struggle to think, what am I going to do, for a video this week? Because I don't want Soup's Eye View to be a job. I already have a job that's all about making videos and films and things. And I enjoy making these little dispatches as a hobby, and it's really nice that you guys stick around for that. So thank you for that, and here's hoping that together 2020 will be filled with as much fun as we've had this year. Fingers crossed. My best as ever to you and your friends and family, and here's hoping that we all have a fantastic New Year's Eve and a tolerable New Year's Day. As ever, until next time, do take care. Bye bye. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And again, thank you for watching. Bye bye.